must remain true to the call of obedience by observing high standard of discipline as you traverse through life ever-changing challenges. And I know you are capable of doing this. When I've been looking at you when you are performing here, I can tell with the zeal and the passion you are doing it, you are getting to the next level. There is no way you are not going to be what you have said, that you are going to get the best and the rest will follow. This is the best school, and I call it so, as your mother. Indeed, every one of us here today is duty-bound to make a positive contribution towards a better tomorrow for our boy child. In my vision and in my calling, I am trying to give my best contribution to save the boy child, and I'm asking you, are you? As a champion, for the boy child cause, I particularly take note of the commitment the government is in ensuring the war against drugs and illicit brews. While the government has an obligation to do this, it must take our collective responsibility to keep drugs and alcohol away from our children. By keeping our children away from today's distractions, we are securing their future, and we must do it intentionally and deliberately. In the world we are living today, we have merchants of death, and we have barons who are out there to destroy the youthful population in Africa and Kenya. And you young men, you must be careful not to fall into the trap and the satanic agenda that will destroy you. You have just demonstrated by the skit that I saw here that illicit brew and all these drugs will destroy you. I've been around this country now to know what I'm talking about. I'm not guessing. It is worse than you think. Right now from the north are coming injectables that are being brought to our children to inject themselves, and they are unable to control their sexual urges, and they are gang raping the women in the northeastern. There is an outcry there. A place where we have Muslim faith, people who have good culture, and because someone is sitting there and planning and scheming to destroy a good culture and religion, they give them, and what is happening there, you don't even want to imagine. The scourge of alcoholism and drug abuse is so rife amongst the young people in our country today. We cannot afford to remain silent at this moment when our voices are needed most. Time has come for us to wage a total war against alcoholism, drugs, and substance abuse. In Mombasa, my young men, let me tell you, I went there and I keep repeating this. The first assignment I did in my office was to go to Shimanzi dance in Mombasa. Many people did not want me to go there, and many thought it was a dangerous place to be, and it is. But as a mother, I could not refrain myself from going out there to reach out to my boys who are there, even with their young families, addicted, and no one really cared about them. So I went there the first time with the medical camp. The next time I went to feed them. The next time I went to pray with them. And the fourth time when I went for medical camp, one of them looked at me straight in the eye and told me, I have seen you in the televisions, and you are saying you are taking people for rehabilitation. I must own up. I never imagined any one of those people who are in that den would want to come out, because they had injected themselves. We were going there to treat the wounds, and they had nowhere, some of them, to inject themselves. They were doing it through the chest. So when somebody like that approaches you, you do not think that that person can change. But because they had made their mind, and one of them boldly approached me, today, 78 of them are coming out of a rehab center. Not only those ones, that was the worst case scenario. In fact, there was a lady there, because when I went to look for my boy children, little did I know I was getting myself into bigger problems than I had bargained for. So he came and told me he had a wife. And they brought the wife. And the wife was also in addiction. And when the wife also came, the following day, I was surprised and amazed. The mother said, we also have children. And today, we have a family rehabilitation center. In the last 1 year and a half, when we have been transversing and working amongst the young men, we have been able to go to community rehabilitation program, which has brought out, and this one we are working with faith-based, both the Christian and the Muslim faith. We have been able to work around 4,500 young men. They are come out of addiction. Across the rehab centers in Bomet, and I can tell you this thing is not just here in Mount Kenya, it is everywhere. So in Bomet, we have 200 who are in rehab center. We have in Meru, we have in Embu, we have here in Kiambu, we have in Nyeri, we have in Nyandarua, and all these are trying to get out of addiction. So in August, we are graduating those who have been in-house or inpatient in our rehab center, 1,200 men. I'm saying this to inform you that there is a work going on, and to also plead with you, you do not get there. It will be very sad for me that we are removing 5,800 to just bring another 10,000 in the same space. You must be careful. You must be careful. Keep off drugs. Keep off beer. I think when we were here in the prayer, I showed you in Proverbs 31, what destroys kings and rulers is beer and wine and women, and said all those, shun them, but women only when it is necessary. So young men, be warned, for the consequences of addiction are far-reaching and devastating. They affect not only your life, but also lives of those around you. Don't get caught up in these false promises of peer pressure. To our parents, I would like you to take this opportunity to acknowledge the crucial role that you play in the education of your children. Your unwavering support